know. So I go through it both ways there. I go through the Procore app on the phone, and I go through how to create one maybe on the online platform there as well. So, can you see that phone screen there now?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. So I'll go into it here. So I'll use this test project here as an example. So you have your observations to going along here. So there it is there on the right hand side. So when you click in, you'll see a list of ones that might be already on the project here. You see them all. They're all kind of grouped by their different types here already. So you want to create an observation, you come up to the top right hand side, the little plus button, you press this, and you're going to create it without a template. So you'll see different types here now. So you have a lot of different types of observations. So you have environmental types here. You have quality ones there. Now, quality ones kind of aim and use it for these quality audits. So the PQC and QMS ones, they're kind of so these are the one templates enough for them. So they are not for kind of site use. So then you have your safety ones here. So for example, I'll just go and use safety poor practice here as an example. So you see here, all you're doing from here then is you just have your information boxes to fill in. So you might want to give it a type. So for example, I just put in clean up wired. Done. And you're just filling in this here. So you're assigning then you're assigning this to someone. You have a list of your directory here. So if it's assigned to a subcontractor, they'll be on the list down here. So I'll just click test subcontractor as an example. You have your distribution list here then as well. So again, same as the other tools, you have a distribution list. So basically it's who you want to copy into it, who will be able to see it as well. So you might want to copy in the rest of the site team. Or whoever you want, for example. So I'll just put my own name there, for example. So you have a section here for trade. So I click the trade, you have the trades here. So again, scroll down, and whichever one's applicable to yourself. So click masonry there, for example, and then the location. So you have a location on site. So for your own specific jobs, you'll have a list of locations here, and you can just click whereabouts it is, and you can click use. Location will pop up here as well. You have a priority section as well. So if you click priority, you have low, medium, high, or urgent. So again, depending on what it is, you can click whichever one suits. And you have your due date. So if you click on the due date, you'll open up your calendar. So basically, when you want this observation to be closed out by. So when you send it out to the assignee who was assigned to it, they'll get a notification, and obviously the due date will be on it, and they'll have to respond to it by this due date here then. You can choose a due date to suit yourself, obviously depending on the priority of it. So you can click a couple of days ahead or the next day even as well. So click off that. And then you have your private button. So you can click it on or off. The best thing is to leave it on maybe. So again, everyone will be able to see it from the site team's perspective, and then from a subcontractor's perspective, only the sub who's assigned to it can see it. So when outside glances will be able to see it where the assignee above. So you have a couple of sections here as well that are just kind of additional information. So the hazard, contributing condition, contributing behavior. So basically when you click onto these, you're asked, you see a drop down box here, and you can click whichever option kind of right most. So again, if it's a fall or whatever it is, or trip, you don't even need to fill it out either. So if it doesn't apply to the observation, you can leave it blank. Again, contributing condition, if it's equipment, noise, PB, whatever it is, you can scroll down through along there and select whichever one is most applicable to the observation. And same for contributing behavior again. So again, you're just selecting whichever one is most applicable. And then you have your description box down here at the bottom. So again, you're just typing in what needs to be done. So for this example, you can type in cleanup, required, wherever it's needed. So type in that, whatever, and you just select done. So that's basically all your information filled out. So you have up here your camera. So you want to take a picture of it as you're out on site. Click the camera. You can open up that there, take your picture. And you can mark it up here whatever way you want as well. So you have your little marker tool. So if you want to highlight something like that, if you want to put in a little text, so whatever you want to put in here, move it around there, and you can just press save then down the bottom. You press save, and you can take another picture or as many pictures as well as you want. So again, once you have it done, you press the done button, and what you see is then your picture will attach to the observation here. So once you've all your information typed in here, you're happy with it, your picture there, you just press save here up the top. So that saved the observation on a list here. So I'll scroll down. So there's one I'm after making there now. Cleanup required. Signee subcontractor. It's initiated, and it's due on whatever date here. So what you want to do to send this to them then, when you come back out to this page, you have a little button up here. It's a little email button. So if I press that, you get the option to email your observation. And when you press send, then that notification will go straight to that person's inbox in their email. So it'll send directly to them, and they'll be able to come back in then when they have it done, and they'll be able to close it out. So what they do then is, obviously when they have it done, they can come back in here and they click into it, and they have their little activity box up here. They click on this and they can comment. So work complete or whatever it is. They can attach a picture here, take photo, and click send. So that sends it back to whoever created it. So you see down here the activity, this person responded to say work complete, and they can attach a picture as well. And what they can do is here, so when it was initiated, they click the initiated box and they can say ready for review. So it goes back to you then, and when you go in and review it, you can come in and close it out. So if you can come in and click on that, and you can click close here. So that closes out the observation then. So that's basically it then. You see it here, and you go back out to this page here, and you see the ones on the list. So if you're maybe doing them all in one day, to go back in and close them all out, they're all here on the list. So that's basically it. It's probably easier to do it on the Procore app on the phone or the tablet or whatever you have on site. You can do it as well on the Procore online platform. So I'll just get up that there for a second and I'll just go through it. So you can see it here as well. So you have your observations tool. You see all the ones that are already done on the job. And then here again, you just come over here to right hand side, you press the create button. And what you see then is you just be asked to select your type, and you'll see all the same information boxes that I'm after going through there on the phone. So you're just selecting your type here again, safety core practice, whatever it is. And see, they're all the same information boxes that I just have to fill it out on the phone. They just look different. So again, I'm just typing an example here. And you fill it out as you need be. And you come down here, press create. You bring it back out to the home page for the observations, and again, yeah, so I see this observation is initiated. Come back out to the home page, and you'll see then on the home page you'll be asked to send it again. So it loads up now. Yeah, so what you should see here, you should see a little notification popping up here. The one observation was created, and you press send, so that'll send it directly to their email address. It's not coming up there because I didn't assign it to anyone. So once you have an assignee added into the assignee box, you get a notification here. Press send observation, and it goes straight to their email address. And they come in here and they can respond to it within here as well. You don't have to do it on the phone. So. Just update that here now, just so I could show you how it's sent. So that's the little notification you get when you're looking for a response. Yeah, so that's what you'll see. So again, you can do it both ways. So on the the mobile app or the phone or the tablet is probably the easiest way to do it. So you can do it remotely on your out site. But you can come in and respond to them on the Procore online platform here as well. It's just two ways of doing the same thing. So that's basically it really. And again, they're not just safety observations, you have different ones as well. So you see different types here. You can have safety poor practice, safety good practice. It's the same format and same layout for any of the different types of observations. You'll just see the same information box and fill them out as you see fit then. So it's pretty straightforward to use. It's not too difficult at all. So if you have any questions on that there, lads, fire away there. It's not too bad. I'd say most people are kind of using it anyway. So what I've seen so far.
Colm, Tom Regan here. Can you hear me?
Tom.
Yeah, how are you doing? Good man, very good. Colm, just two things. The assignee and the distribution. Do you email to the assignee or to the distribution list, or what's the best way of doing that, or can you do both either way?
So when you create the observation, you have the assignee.
Yeah.
When you select the assignee, right, and draw the little email button I showed on the phone when you.
Now, the way I was doing a Colm, I was just assigning it to a person on the site. Say it's generally safety observations I do, and I assign it to the site manager as the person that has to action it. But the distribution list, then I would add maybe the contracts manager and the project manager and whoever else. But is that, am I doing the right way, or is there?
Yeah. No, that's the right way. So the way you do it, you can assign it to the site team, and they'll look after it from that side then. And again, the distribution list is the same thing again. So basically, you're just copying someone into it, so they have visibility, so that they can actually see the observation themselves.
Okay.
But the assignee is what you're saying is correct. So the assignee is who is kind of responsible for looking after it.
Yeah.
And delegate the work from there then.
And just one other thing then, Colm, that I noticed is the locations. You'll find I found on some sites that there's nothing there when you go to include a location, like maybe a compound or the toilets or something like that. So it just, they may not be all added in some of the sites,
Yeah. So the locations are kind of added in.
Can you type into there, Colm? I don't think you can you?
Oh, you can. So the way the locations are kind of added from at the start of the project, so they can be added. So when the kind of project is getting going from the Procore side of it, different locations are added in separately. So they're kind of all done at the start of the job. So the different tools use the locations tool as well. So if you want certain locations added in to the jobs, just get on to myself,
okay,
and I can add them in from my side.
Grant. Okay, thanks, Colm.
Yeah, excuse me, Colm. Yeah, to that question, like for example, on inspection, like making an inspection, then I noticed you can go on your right side, you can go there and create a location. Like if I'm doing an inspection on maybe 3rd floor or something, so I can go on my right side, just create the location. Can't we do that for this as well?
Yeah, you can do that, yeah. But the easiest thing to do is if you have a list of locations and they're added in at the very start of the job. So you see here, if I go back to the home page here for this job, for example, it's kind of a separate thing. At the start of the job, if you have the locations all set at the start of the job, they'll all automatically appear on a list. for all these different tools. So instead of having to add them in every time you're doing an observation, if you can send them on to me, and you can add them in yourself then as well, actually, if you want. So they're there for every tool at the start of the job. So you'll see here, I'll just show you how I add them in. So the admin tool, you should be able to see a locations tool here as well. So they're added in here at the location settings, project settings, locations.
But you can only do that column, so you can't.
Oh, actually, Tom, anyone can do it. Actually, yeah,
okay. Can. Very good. All right. Sorry, that's great. Yeah.
So you see here we have locations, and so for example, this is just a test project. So what you can do is you have block 4 here, ground floor, and the way you can do it is you can actually. Second now. They're imported here, so there's a kind of the way I do it anyway. I've done it for most kind of projects. So you import them through Procore imports is the easiest thing to do. So what you can do is if you have a list of locations, just send them on to me. I'll put them up through here. So that's probably the easiest thing to do with the locations anyway.
There's probably a generic list that goes on them all, and then you add in different areas if you need to. Yeah. Exactly.
So they go down through the different tiers. So you might have first tier, and then so exactly you just type them in here. So
okay.
So for example, and you can go down another list then as well. So you can add another tier to it here. So that's the way they're added in there. Anyway, it's probably easier to leave them all one tier. So if you have different locations, so it's rooms. You have different rooms. So I type in room 1, room 2, or whatever. So
yeah.
Once they're done here, they'll appear on all the observations as well for the different locations. So that's probably the
No. Yeah, no. You're okay. He won't be here next week anyway. Well, yeah.
If you know other questions, I suppose we can leave it at that if you want. Or if you want else you want to ask there.
No, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
You can run reports. So at the end of a week or whatever, you can run reports on it. Yeah.
You can, yeah. So you come back in here to your observations, and there's an option to export, export PDF report on say the observations that are created that week. So I'll show that here now.
Does it pick any trends, or does it pick anything from?
You can. So what you can do is there's actually your reports tool as well. What you can do, and you can kind of manipulate the data here to look for certain types of observations. So
yeah.
So you see the little filter button here. If I press add filter, you can filter it by type. So if I filter that by type and look for, one second, filter by type. So if I'm looking just for safety observations here, so it's safety there. It'll just bring up all the safety observations here. So what you can do is you go to export. So you export PDF with photos and drawings. So click that. It'll generate a report and it'll email it to you when it's ready. So you see that there. You can filter it by date as well. So date created. So if you want all the observations created within a week, you can click date created, and you can go say from Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And the same thing, you can export it here and it'll email it to you when it's ready.
Sure.
And could you filter that by hazard, like say if we're working at height or?
That's what I'm thinking, Tom. So can you see on a site, have you got 10 working at height observations over the last 10 days, so to speak?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so you see here, you can filter it by hazard. Staff as well. So if you just click filter by hazard here, so again, there's only a couple ones here that have been created by hazard because this is just a test project. So select all, it just kind of filter them down, and you'll see this is the only one on the job that has been, the hazard, like, so the hazard section has been filled in on the observation, so it'll pick it up in the now obviously on a proper job you'll see a lot more because it'll all be filled out properly. These are only test ones that I've been doing. So,
Colin, do you know in the snags you can get the pie chart that gives you status, closed, open, ready for close, and all the sort of topics? Is there a pie chart option in this? Because I mean, if you had the hazards on pie chart, you could see where your biggest hazards are. It may be something to take away. It may be something to take away. Sorry.
Yeah, there isn't actually within this tool now, but there is. So you'll see the reports tool here on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
There is a way of generating reports, and that you can add in graphs. So you can generate an observations report here with graphs. Now what I might do is I might leave that reports tool for another webinar because it'll take a bit longer. But I'll add to the list. We can go through the reports on that as well. So it goes into more detail than the report you just get from here. So you'll be able to add in a diagram like a pie chart, and you'll be able to manipulate it into the different types of hazards, and you'll be able to view it within a kind of a diagram as well. But I might leave that for another webinar because it'll take
sure, yeah. Looks like a powerful tool, and we use it to our advantage, you know.
That'd be very useful, yeah, because like you could see by sight what's the most common type of hazard and potential for an accident, and then you could do it by site or by overall sites, like, you know, and base your toolbox talks and or some kind of a safety alert around that, then, you know, so it'll be an added kind of precautionary measure, you know.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely add that to the list anyway to do maybe the next one or the one after.
Yeah. Very good.
Anything else there? You're all happy? We can leave it at that.
No, if everybody maybe just would do an observation on your sites, lads, it'd be great. Like, you know, just to get in there and do it, even if you make mistakes on it, just go out from a safety point of view, have a look, and if you see something that you think should be raised as an observation, do it, lads. Just and get into the habit of doing it, because don't be leaving it up to the safety officers to come on site to you know, to do safety observations. It really should be everybody on site should be to have the tool there now to go out and do them, and it really adds to, you know, to see the observations being done. It gives us a great insight into the site and what the hazards are, as Tom was saying there, and Colin, like we can really hone in on those and maybe reduce them and reduce the risk to the workers on site by using the observations, you know. So if everyone could go out and do one, you know, at least once or twice a week, it'd be a big help.
Yeah, that's grand. So lads, so we can leave it at that, so if everyone's happy.
Colin. Okay.
Thanks, Colin.
Thanks, Colin.